Okay, so while I sit here, completely disabled, I had a hydraulic line blowout. You can tell I'm really concerned. It's not the first time. Anyway, I was watching a Benny Johnson, and he was going over the town hall that Kameltoe had attended and couldn't answer a basic question without going into the historical dialogue of, I was raised in a middle-class family. Well, yeah, 90% of fucking America was raised in a middle-class family. And 90% of Americans could have answered the question probably quicker than you. So, here's your public service announcement. The question was, or your point of view, rather, how are we going to fix the medical system? And the guy had asked it in Spanish, and he needed a translator. And she couldn't answer the question. Now, the question was pretty much basic. How are you going to fix the system? Fixing the system is a long, hard fight. And it's so complex and arduous that it would likely take years of constant litigation and medical professionals battling back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, along with government and congressional peoples arguing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because our medical system is fucked. People are required to have insurance in order to offset the expense of medical care. And the reason why medical care is so expensive is because the cost of the education and the malpractice insurance that is required for a medical professional to practice medicine is astronomically high and ridiculous at that. I can go on all day about this system. But the basic answer that could have been provided at that time was, this has been in the works for many years, and there are many layers to this particular situation that it's going to take a lot of people and a lot of time in order to establish any kind of rational solution in order to fix the system. But it has been something that has been on the chopping block for years. In which it has. That's not a dishonest answer. They litigate every year about how bad the system is. People can't afford health care because all of the overhead expenses for the practitioner are through the fucking roof. Period. The cost of the education has gotten to the point. Why are they short doctors? Because nobody can afford it. Why are people not using the medical care system? Is because the system is fucked up. It's a sick care model. It is not a health care model. They want you to stay sick so they can get paid. If you're healthy, you don't need them. lot of people get medical insurance just to check the block on taxes. I have medical insurance, but I also use the VA. And the only time my medical insurance is billed is when it is used for services that aren't covered under my VA coverage. Basically, shit that the military broke is what's covered for free. So all of my mammograms and my pap smears and everything gender related isn't covered. However, my chiropractic appointments and my physical therapy and my psychology stuff is covered. But most people, because of the medical involvement in regards to nutrition and, of course, the food guidelines, are designed by people who aren't even in the medical field. The nutritionist, the nutrition has been, what is that? Perverted to such a degree where you've got people living on statins and their quality of life has gone to shit because they're ignorant. Maybe we need to start educating the general public on how to better take care of themselves as opposed to running to a doctor every time they get a boo-boo. That would help the healthcare, because there's certain conditions that if you literally change your diet altogether, you wouldn't have that problem. And then there's other conditions that they've perverted, like the cholesterol hypothesis. Let me emphasize that again. Hypothesis. Where they've got people on statins and now they've got aches and pains and, you know, they're dying at the same rate as somebody who never took the statin. Something to think about. Maybe we need to educate the general public on general wellness and proper nutrition. You know, there's an entire bandwagon of practitioners out there who have been preaching themselves to death, trying to educate the layman in how to improve their health. Yeah, I got an ad that runs across on my Facebook and on my YouTube probably 37,000 times a day. Dr. Living Good, Dr. Berry, Dr. Lustig, Nina Teicholz, Gary Tao. This is a list of names you might want to look up and listen to them. Our healthcare is not healthcare. It's not health. Our medical system is a sick care system. They don't want you to get healthy. Because if you got healthy, they'd lose money. That's a fact. Something to think about. People, you know, bitch and complain. Healthcare is too expensive. Well, there's a rational solution to that. You can get the minimum insurance. Pay as little as possible just to check the block on your taxes. Alright? And if you're going to go to a doctor because you're constantly sick, you might want to educate yourself and learn how to read your own blood work. There's areas here, I don't know if they got it. I know there's some states where it's like a mandatory that you have to go to a doctor to get a prescription to get blood work done. If you live in one of those states, you might want to move. See, down here I can go online and order my own stuff, put my card number in, get my receipt, print it off, show up, do the blood draws, and in 2 weeks they email me my results. No doctor needed. Down here I can call a radiology center, which is like literally around the corner from my work, and schedule a self-referred coronary artery calcium score, pay anywhere from $65 to $100. The test takes less than 15 minutes. And the report is provided to me maybe 30 minutes after I get the test done. I get a report and a disc with directions on how to put it on my computer and open the disc and look at my own stuff. You can list the doctor that's treating you if you want, and they'll send them the same stuff, but you have a copy. People come to the United States because they're leaving places that are just tragic, with the hopes that things will be better, and it's not better. Yes, our doctors are highly educated, but they're educated via a protocol, via a curriculum. So they come out of the education slightly brainwashed into thinking that there is this, that, and the other thing that are a requirement. And the biggest one that is tearing this country apart is the cholesterol hypothesis. The nutritional advice that these new doctors who are brainwashed, the old dinosaurs who have not done any sort of continuing education and or external research in order to educate themselves on that, so they're walking around with ignorance that there's new research out there that contradicts what they were taught in school. Yeah, one of my favorite ones is JAMA's article on saturated fat. That one just basically blew up the medical field's current paradigm on what causes high cholesterol. Your body makes the cholesterol you need. And the shittier your diet is, the more critical it is for you to look into what is boosting your cholesterol. Thyroid conditions boost cholesterol. A gallbladder that isn't working efficiently will boost cholesterol. Too much sugar in your diet will cause, or too much fructose or high fructose corn syrup in your diet will cause your liver to become fatty. That will affect your cholesterol. Imbalanced bacteria in your gut will affect cholesterol. Chemicals in the wheat product will affect cholesterol. It's not just saturated fat. Crappy ass diet full of junk food and processed food will affect your cholesterol. But doctors aren't telling people that. And people don't know. I didn't know even. When I had requested, after trying to self-educate, I needed an NMR to determine that I did not need to be put on a statin. And my doctor skated around, spun, refused to tell me that the only way I could get an NMR was to get referred to a cardiologist. And it was the cardiologist who could request that blood work. Only a cardiologist. But at the same time, that general practitioner was the same one who could prescribe a statin without the permission of the cardiologist. Something don't make sense here. So as far as Camilla's answer goes, I gave you the in-depth of shit that I know. Oh, I could go on for hours on this one. But what she should have said was, that is something that has been on the chopping block for years, and it is a long, hard fight. And we do address it. It is something that has been being addressed. It's not just once or twice a year. It is ongoing. This has been ongoing for more than 10 years now. There is no solution thus far that I can say with any positive confidence that anything's going to change anytime soon. But it is a concern. And it is something that we work on a regular. Period. No, nobody gives a shit that you were raised by a middle-class family, because majority of America was. We don't care about you. What we care about is what you're going to do. What are you going to do better this next 4 years that you didn't do in the current ones? This current 4 that you just did. You didn't do shit. You sat back and collected a paycheck. Put a backspin and a spin on everything that was fucking said to you. And then ignored the problem when it hit you head on. Like North Carolina. Oh, we need to do a photo op that I'm here, boots on ground. I ain't even went anywhere near the fucking site. Yeah, so show them loading C-17, but the plane never left the fucking ground. That kind of shady, sketchy shit. And then you got Biden going, Trump, what are you doing for help these fucking people? Well, isn't that what your, stolen election was supposed to provide? You were supposed to fucking help these people. Sit there and pass the buck on Trump. You wanted this fucking position? Do your fucking job. Delusional fuck. Don't get me started. I can go on all fucking day. Sitting there thinking about all the bullshit that Camilla had done to all those people in California. I mean, yeah, marijuana was illegal at one point. They've lifted a lot of that. You gotta regulate it. There's too much shit that they can put in it that's fucking killing people. That I get. I understand. You can put other drugs and stuff. One case in particular, I can't remember the girl's name. Her parents were devastated. Yeah, she smoked a joint. It was laced with fentanyl. She fucking died. Young girl, 16 years old. That kind of shit. If you're going to allow a drug to be legalized, you need to be able to regulate to make sure that it's pure in form. That part. That's the questionable part. You don't want fucking marijuana laced with PCP or cocaine or something of that accord that's going to fuck somebody up and kill them. That's the difficulty. That's the reason why it hasn't been legalized. That's the reason why, you know, doing a particular substance, you need, it's like, if you grow it yourself, people were getting busted for growing it themselves. Well, growing it yourself and doing your own, you know, eating your own produce is safer than getting it from somebody else who you don't know what the fuck they put in it. See where I'm going with this? When the government tries to start controlling everything, all the way down to the lowest level, that's where we start to run into problems. It's like people who are helping Helene. FEMA was trying to confiscate all that product. No. We just need to get past your stupid ass and bring it in on the four-wheelers where we can access, on horseback where we can access. We don't need your fucking help. You obviously didn't want to fucking help. You gave all the money away to something that was totally asinine. So, anyway, I gotta go. My mechanic's here to come fix my ass. Yay! Peace out.